Good morning, everybody. We are here today to talk about campaigns and integrated digital marketing. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to sign on while I work out what it is that I'm going to talk about. Just kidding. Of course, I know what I'm going to talk about. Okay. Let's see now. Good morning. Thank you for joining me, early birds. Early, 9 o'clock. How's everybody doing? Thumbs up. Are you awake? You got your coffee? I've got my hot lemon water. No coffee yet. Okay, so today we're talking about integrated digital marketing. And Lola's here to learn. Hello, Lola. Yes. Lola wants to learn. So we're going to be talking about integrated digital marketing and campaign marketing. So let's start. What is integrated digital marketing? So integrated digital marketing is basically when you take all the different channels that you have out there in digital marketing. So let's say you've got email marketing, you've got a website, you've got a blog, you've got influencers, you've got social media, you've got video, you've got YouTube, you've got podcasts, and you use all of these platforms and channels together in a nice integrated approach. So that's integrated digital marketing. Now, what's a campaign and is it different? So a campaign is basically when you have something specific that you want to push. Let's say, for example, you are launching a new product, or let's say, for example, you want to drive a special, or you have a sign-up bonus or something that you really want to push. So the difference between a campaign and just running normal ads is that campaigns usually have a specific start and an end date, and they have a specific goal, and there's usually something that ties it together, and they're usually across more than just one channel. So when you're doing a proper integrated digital marketing campaign, you're going to be looking at pulling all these platforms together in a really integrated way, in a cohesive way, to get this message out effectively. Now, the great thing about using multiple channels is that you're going to get much better results than just using one platform. So if you just do Facebook ads, great, fantastic. But if you do Facebook ads and you do content on social media and you do a video and you do a series of interviews and you have some podcasts and you have an email that you send out and maybe you run some press, maybe you have an event. So using all your digital channels and tools that you have at your disposal to talk about one theme is much more powerful than just having one channel, just using social media, just using Facebook. So it's really about taking all the platforms and everything that you've learned through the series of these talks and applying that to all your different platforms to get a much better result. So the first starting point of any campaign is you need to have a strategy. Now, this is often where I find, I don't know if it's a South African thing or a marketing thing or a me thing, but you need to take the time to do some planning. So make sure that you sit down, make sure that you, just make sure I can see your comments. Make sure that you sit down, make sure that you actually write down, okay, what is the goal of this campaign? So this is where it can get tricky, because if you apply the wrong goal, you're going to get the wrong results and you're going to think the campaign failed. And often when I speak to clients or I speak to marketers, they'll say, yes, we tried that and it failed. And if I interrogate them, it turns out that they used the wrong metrics or they used the wrong campaign mechanisms. They did an influencer marketing campaign and they didn't get any sales, when actually influencer marketing with that kind of influencer that they use is maybe better for reach or brand awareness, and you're not necessarily going to drive sales through it. So it does get tricky. So you have to be very specific. What is your goal of this campaign? Let's say I want video views, I want app downloads, I want people to attend my event, I want people to subscribe to my newsletter, I want people to buy from me. Whatever your goal might be. So write that down, whatever that goal is: brand awareness, loyalty, engagement. I want to reach a new audience. Whatever that goal might be, you write that down. Then tell me who your target market is. So if you go back to our previous sessions, we spent a lot of time on target marketing, and I've even got a free target marketing table. If you go on our blog, you'll see there's this great target market table template that you can download off of our blog on shift1.co.za. So decide then who your target market is, and I'm going to ask you that you only pick one target audience and be very detailed and specific about who they are. What is their age? What is their gender? What's their geolocation? And if you're going to add multiple target audiences, I might say create them as almost separate campaigns so that it's very clear this is a campaign to reach these people and these people, because I do want you to use different artwork for different audiences, and I want you to use different messaging for different audiences. So if you've got a campaign targeting me and you have a campaign targeting one of my co-workers who might be a graphic designer, you're going to use different wording, different messaging, because I'm not interested in the same thing as they are. So that's number one. Make sure that you target the right people with the right message, and then set your budget and set your campaign duration. So from this date to this date. So write all of this down. So what do you want to achieve? Who are you going to target? And then decide what are the needs that you're addressing with this campaign. So what is the need? Is it entertainment? Is it morning, Roger? Is it some entertainment? Do you want them to buy from you? Roger's got an amazing website where they sell African photos, beautiful, incredible African photos. So his goal for his integrated digital marketing campaign might be, I want people to subscribe to maybe a monthly retainer where every single month they get 5 photos from me. And they can pick the 5, and if they don't pick the 5, it rolls over and they can pick 10 next month, or whatever the case might be. So that's his goal. And so who is he targeting? He's targeting ad agencies, he's targeting marketing managers, he's targeting lodges, and he's targeting tourism companies. So those are his 4 segments, and he's going to set up 4 different campaigns, different creative, different artwork, because it's a different audience that he's talking to each time, and different messaging. What you say to a marketing manager or somebody in an ad agency is going to be quite different to what you're going to say to somebody who runs their own lodge or who has their own travel company. All right? So then you go and you pick your channels. Now, which channels are these 4 audiences on? So where am I going to find them? And there might be a lot of overlap, but what you'll find is when you're setting up your ad, your audience is going to be quite different for each one of them. So they might all be on Facebook, but you're going to set up 4 different ads targeting 4 different audiences. And your messaging is going to be different 4 times. So for the ad agencies, you're going to say, need amazing African safari, unique photography and videography. Then for your clients who are in travel or are at African themed brands, then come and check us out. So that's what you're looking for. But you also want to say subscribe to our monthly retainer, subscribe to our monthly subscription, because then it works out cheaper than just buying once off. And if you're buying regularly, you may as well just subscribe, and then you, Roger, have got a nice guaranteed income. Roger, you and I must talk about Patreon. So go and check out patreon.com. I think that's something that you might be interested in. So let's talk about Patreon. So Patreon's basically, if you are really talented at what you do and you want people to fund you to do what you do. In other words, there's this guy called Primitive Technology on YouTube that I absolutely love, and he has a Patreon account. So basically he goes into the wild and he builds a house from scratch, or he smelts ore by crushing rocks and building his own smelter, and you watch him in the wild doing this stuff, making a bow and arrow, and it's very quiet, it's very therapeutic. And he has a Patreon account, and basically what that enables is if 10,000 people each pay him $10 a month, costs nothing, $10 for me to pay him $10 a month, but you've got 10,000 people that donate to him on Patreon so he can do what he does. And he gets to then entertain us. So his goal actually is entertainment. That's what he does. Okay, so decide what it is that your customers are looking for, and then you can craft your messaging. So what is their need, and which channels are you going to reach them on? So if it's email marketing, you may not have an email database. So we have discussed this before. You're going to create a lead generation ad on Facebook, and you're going to say, I sell amazing stock photography covering African safaris and stuff like that, wildlife. If you're interested in African safaris, wildlife, and great photography and stock photography, then subscribe to my newsletter. And then that way, once you've got their email subscription, you can constantly mail them interesting and useful stuff. So you're never going to spam them. You're always going to be aware of what their needs are. And so now that you've listed all your different channels, and you might say, okay, email marketing, they might read a blog, they read these different platforms, these different online blogs, and I might want to reach out to them. They might see my ad, they might come to an event, a digital event, they might join a Facebook group. So you kind of sit and plot out all the different ways that you're going to reach them, okay? And now you're going to just actually go and create all the content. So for me, the starting point is always your blog. Write that blog, write that article, because the article gives you structure, gives you content. It helps you to package what you're saying neatly. It helps you to become coherent and be clear in your offer. The second step is always going to be create a video. Pick up your phone, turn it this way. Oh, I've broken it. Turn it landscape and not portrait. Turn it landscape. Make sure you have silence. If you need to plug in your walk and talk so you've got better sound, make sure you've got good lighting, and make sure, put your post-it notes in front of you so you know what you're talking about, and then you absolutely just clap it. Record it in one go. Maybe you have to record it 3, 4, 5 times, but you record it in one go, and then you've got your little video. Okay, so fantastic. No editing required. No excuses why you can't create video because you're not a video editor. Anyone can create video. If you go and look back at some of our old blogs on the Shift One Digital site, you'll see I would sit down, pick up my phone, and record it in one take. I'd have my post-it notes there. Someone would hold the phone. Sound isn't even that great. I just clap through it, and then I would upload that video into the blog. So I think one of them I'm looking at now is called How to Make an Effective Marketing Plan on a Small Budget. So how to basically make a small marketing budget work for you. And you just literally clap that out. You've written your blog. You've got your nice subheadings. You've got bullet points in your blog. You're cross-linking in your blog to your services, or you're pulling in different of your products into that blog. So whatever it is that you're writing, just be interesting and creative. So Annabella, you sell amazing perfumes. So, you might write a blog on perfumes and personality. Which perfume goes with which kind of personality? And then you're going to pull in your different perfumes, and I can literally click and buy in one go. That is the beauty of a blog. The next thing you've written your blog, you've integrated your video, then you're going to take that content and you might create a social media plan. And then you might decide to set up your ads, and you're using all very similar wording, because the thing that integrates everything together is I need to get a similar feel. If I encounter an ad, let's say you did a little banner ad and I'm on News 24, and because I visited your website, your remarketing banner ad displays to me on News 24, and I get the same feeling and the same tone and the same visual look and feel across all the platforms. That's what integrates it. That's what makes it be cohesive. So, for example, I saw the other day a brand that had a completely different look and feel on their banners. And then when I clicked to their website, it had a completely different look and feel. So the banners were blue, but the website was red. And that to me causes mistrust. You need to have a very strong cohesion that ties everything together to integrate it. And that's what the great thing about being an integrated digital marketing agency is. When we create these integrated campaigns, I make sure that all the teams work together, but specifically all the copy originates from one person, one source. So they write for all the different platforms so that there's a really strong copy theme that ties everything together. Okay, so then you go and you create your ads and make sure that you've got this compelling ad and that you've got the right creative, and remarketing is a really great thing. So I'll quickly touch on remarketing for those of you not sure what it is. Have you ever seen a banner that follows you around the webs, so the interweb? So basically you went and you checked out a pair of shoes, or you were on Take a Lot, and now you're on News 24 and you see what you looked at on Take a Lot. So at our last session, I was looking at Squarespace, and today when I clicked on another website, I saw a Squarespace banner. So Squarespace basically dropped a tiny cookie on my browser here, and a tiny little 1x1 pixel that notices that I was on their website. So now it's attached to my browser. So now if I go somewhere else that's got a little piece of code embedded in that website, they are then able to show me whatever it was that I was looking at on their website. So it's very, very specific. So that could follow me all the way around the internet, which is quite annoying because I actually went and bought those things on Take a Lot, so I don't want to see them again. So there's not that kind of logic that applies. But there is logic in the sense that you should say, show this to someone once or maybe twice, and then show them something else, something related, or maybe their, what's in their checkout box, whatever they didn't go ahead and buy, but they looked at it, but they didn't buy it. Okay, so that's a remarketing banner. So the homework that you have today, right now, write down that you have to implement your Facebook pixel and your Google pixel for Google remarketing and Facebook remarketing on your website. So if you go to Facebook Business Manager, they'll give you the tracking code, and if you go to your Google Ads Manager, they'll give you the tracking code to implement that into the website. So basically what you do is in the back end of the website, there's a place, don't ask me where, I don't know, people do this for me, can you tell? And you just drop that little line of code on the code of the website. Somebody does that for you. And then boom, what happens is it starts to place the pixel on your visitor's browser. So that's why when you visit someone's website, there's a little pop-up that says, accept this cookie. And then you click yes most of the time. If you click no, there's no harm, no foul. But now you don't have to use, just by applying the cookies onto your visitors, sticking them on as the visitors come to your website, nothing's going to happen, and that's completely free. Nobody's spending any money, no harm, literally. But what you're doing is you're busy building up a list of people who you could remarket to when you decide to one day. Now you need to have a minimum of 1,000 before you can start showing them some ads. So basically, if you don't start now, let's say you've got very low traffic to your website and you decide at some point to do some remarketing, you're going to have to wait until you've clocked 1,000. If you've got a high traffic to your website, that's fine. You'll do that in a couple of hours. But if you have low traffic, you may need to have already started about a month ago. So there's no harm in applying the code now, and so that the cookies are there. But this very sad thing is if you decide, oh, let's do remarketing to all those people. Remember when that huge spike, we did that massive campaign and we had that huge spike of traffic come to our website? Let's remarket to them. Oh, what? There was no cookie? Oh no, we can't remarket to them. Whereas if you do save all of those people basically in your remarketing list, you can reach them at a later stage with the remarketing banner. And I think it expires every year. In other words, every year that person drops off, something like that. Okay, so that's remarketing. So now I've got a banner that follows me around. So I saw your email. I didn't click on the links. Then I saw your ad target me because you took that email list, and we've mentioned about how you can actually take your email list and upload it into your ads on Facebook and on Google and target them. And so basically I saw your ad and I didn't click on the ad, but then I was on YouTube and I saw your video and I clicked on the video, and in the text there was a little link, and I clicked on the link and I went to your website. And no, hang on, let's do this again. I saw your video and then I decided to Google you. So I Googled you and I saw your ad, but I didn't click on your ad. And so I saw your ad, I didn't click on your ad, but I scrolled down, I saw your organic search engine optimized website pop up. for my search term, and I click there. So now the cookie gets placed on my browser, and then I went to News 24 and I saw your banner reminding me that I was there, and I was like, okay, and I buy, and I bought. Now, the digital marketer will take it as that banner is the best banner ever. This banner closed this big sale for us. But can you see how it was actually this integrated journey that closed the sale? So this is actually called marketing attribution modeling. So it's basically where you say, well, we kind of think that maybe 10% goes to this part of the journey and 10% goes to that part of the journey, and 10% of the sale gets attributed to that part of the journey, and 30% here, 40% here, and I don't know where I am now in my 100%, but let's say the final guy that closes the sale, he only gets 40% attributed to him, because we definitely know that a lot of people, that he had a lot more touch points. So that's the whole thing, is that people often convert only after 8, 12, 15 touch points, which is why email marketing is so powerful. Email marketing is powerful because it brings people back all the time, and they may not be ready to buy the first year, they may not be ready to buy the second year, but they're not ready to unsubscribe just yet. So one day they are ready, and who do they call? They call you, because you've been building a relationship with them. So remember that integrated digital marketing is about having multiple channels all working cohesively together for one goal, to achieve one mission. And then what you need to do is you take those results and you kind of look at the different channels in that journey that you've created, and then you kind of attribute, where are the sales coming from, and you see. So what we can maybe chat about next week is we can chat about creating a journey. And I think maybe that's a good idea, is we can actually talk about creating what we call a marketing funnel, where we push people from interest, from never having heard of you, to being interested in you, to being engaged, to becoming a customer, to being loyal, and how you can actually, using these pixels, craft and the machine learning that is behind the Facebook algorithm and the Instagram and Google, that knows that this person's never engaged with your brand, show them this message. This person has engaged with your brand, show them that message. This person has bought, show them a different message. And that we call, your customer journey, or you could call it your, cool, Justin, we'll make that one happen for you. So that's your customer journey mapping, or your funnel, your sales funnel. So remind me, and that's what we're going to talk about next week. And so I hope that you found this interesting. I think what's challenging at the end of your integrated marketing campaign is to pull all the stats together. So take the time to create a report. So you go into your email marketing and you pull your email report. You go into your Facebook, you pull your Facebook report. You go to your ads, you pull your ads report. You pull your video views, you pull your podcast views, you pull... Sorry, that's my children. I'm just gonna... So you pull all the different reports together, and then you try and make sense of it, so that basically you see, okay, what are the insights that I'm seeing? Because like I often say, we've got so much data these days that we don't know what we're looking at, because there's just so much going on. So try to bring the insights in. And your Google Analytics report. You want to see how many clicks went to the website and from which channel. And then you're going to see if your website's e-commerce, like we spoke about last week, if your website's e-commerce, you're going to be able to track that sale all the way through to purchase. So then you'll know exactly which channel is driving the sales. And that's where the power comes in, guys. Really, that's really where if you can make your website e-commerce by hook or by crook, by Shopify or by WooCommerce, just do it. Because you can 100% then track using Google tracking. You can literally just track boom, exactly where the sales are coming from, down to the banners. This banner is performing well. And on Facebook, this banner is working. This ad is working. This search term is working and getting us sales. So that's definitely the way to look. And so sit down and look at the stats and interpret them and refine and learn. And just remember, this is what I say to my clients: 1 month is not enough. 2 months is not enough. After 3 months, you start to get understanding. So everyone's in such a hurry and nobody has budget to do this for, like, I'm just going to switch on some ads for a couple of days. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to build up knowledge. You have to build up an understanding. You have to get insights. The team has to learn. The ads have to be optimized. So give yourself the time, give your campaign the time, and run it for at least, try for 3 months at least to try. And if it's a competition, nobody wants to wait 3 months for a competition. Nobody's going to be interested in that. They want to win that thing now. But what I'm saying is, let's say that you've got little elements within your 3-month plan and different campaigns within your 3-month plan. When you sit and you pull it all together, you start to get some insights. And you start to learn about your audience, and you start to learn about, and also Facebook starts to learn, and Google starts to learn. And the machine learning kicks in, and basically you get better results. Your ads become cheaper, your audience becomes better segmented, and you get better results. Okay, I hope that has helped you. So when getting started with your integrated marketing campaign, go and write that blog, get some good wording together, craft some ads, set up your audiences, create that mailer, create that video. It takes time. This is why I have a company that does this for people, because it's literally, the whole thing could take you a week to do. But eventually you get faster at it, you get better at it, and so that's basically it. So if you have any questions, write them in the comments below. If you've got any ideas of other topics you want us to comment on, write them in the comments below. Please share these videos so we get more people on our group coming to join us. And thank you so much for joining me again, guys. It's been amazing to see you. Thank you for your support. Hi, Susan. Oh, good morning. Quick question. Blog or newsletter on a... Oh, if you're referring to what you name it, so firstly, I don't really like the word blog. Ours on our website's called blog, but we're a digital agency. We can kind of get away with it. A lot of companies, I don't like to use the word blog. I call it news, if that's what you're referring to. So I prefer to call it news. If you're a professional company and you're in the B2B space, call it news. If you're in a B2C space and you're kind of more informal, you can call it a blog, or you could call it thoughts. And then when you refer to the word newsletter, you need to have a subscribe to our newsletter in the footer of your website. So right at the bottom of your website, you should always have subscribe to our newsletter. Now, you should never call it a newsletter anywhere except here, because if you emailing out and you say May newsletter or June newsletter, nobody wants to read a newsletter. But they know what it means when you say subscribe to our newsletter. Or you could say subscribe to our awesome emails. I don't know what you're going to call it. So I just tend to say subscribe to our newsletter. Everybody knows it's subscribing to emails, and you have the pop-up there. So that's what it is. So this is a little form that you get from MailChimp. MailChimp actually gives it to you, and you can just put it up on your website there, easy peasy. And then it automatically goes straight into your MailChimp list. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, Susan. It's kind of both, actually, if you hear what I'm saying. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day. Go out there and clap it. Be the marketing geniuses that you are. Do the things. And I will see you this time next week. And from Lola Bean and I, we say over and out. Hey, Lola Bean. Say bye-bye. Yes, good dog. Bye, guys.